Protect your online privacy with NordVPN. Browse securely, access content from anywhere, and keep your data safe with military-grade encryption. NordVPN.com. That's NORDVPN.com. Not just a glove, it's a 44 Pro. Crafted with dedication, made for performance, and built to last. Get your custom glove today at 44pro.com and experience the 44 Pro difference. That's 44pro.com, 44 Pro.
Patented handles were launched in 2018. We continue to push the boundaries of strength training. Join us in making your training more natural and effective. Visit Engels90.com to learn more and revolutionize your workout.
Looking for tickets to the hottest shows, games, and events? Ticket Liquidator is your one-stop shop for great prices, no hassles, and guaranteed tickets. Whether it's sports, theater, or concert, for the best seats at the biggest events, start with Ticket Liquidator today at ticketliquidator.com. Ticket Liquidator.
Introducing Bark in the Belly Premium Dog Food. 100% of profits go to help dogs in need.
Over 30% of adults struggle with chronic foot and joint pain, and many face mobility limitations as they age. But a revolutionary Comfort First slipper has taken the wellness world by storm. Try Cloud Slides and feel you are walking on the clouds. Cloud Slides.
Welcome on in. Friday edition of the Wicked Boston Show here on Rogue Media Network. I am your host, Cam Stewart. Zach Burke, keeping us on the air 5 days a week to bring you everything around the world of Boston sports as your lunchtime alternative to Boston Sports Talk Radio. It's not just Boston, it's Wicked Boston every weekday. Today, we're talking about the Celtics-Knicks espionage going on. And I talked about the Philadelphia rivalry coming back short term. This Knicks thing could be back long term in terms of a big time rival for the Celtics. But of course, most of this day will be previewing the Patriots' fifth straight win as they host the Cleveland Browns on Sunday. We will have Nick Pedone of Sports Illustrated coming in to talk about this Browns team inside and out and why they could actually make the Patriots stub their toe a little bit. And then we will have the 3 keys to victory to actually make it 5 wins in a row. We'll have that as well. All that and more coming up on this episode of the Wicked Boston Show. But we start where we start. And I'm not going to lie to you guys. I have been so excited about how excited I've been about the Patriots. You know, I talked about the Celtics opener the other day and how it just kind of snuck up on everyone. And the real reason is because we're so in on football. Like, that is what used to happen. Even when the Celtics were good, even when the Bruins were good. That's what used to happen is you'd come around October time. You'd have the Patriots being the best team in football, as they were every year. And most of those years, you'd have a Red Sox postseason. And then you'd say, oh, yeah, those guys are starting up. Feels earlier this year, huh? It's not. It's just the same time as every year. But it sneaks up on you because we're in Patriots mode. And those seasons, those Bruins and Celtics seasons, Celtics especially, have not snuck up on us the last couple of years. They have not. Because the Red Sox have been long done by mid-October, and the Patriots, for all intents and purposes, were done. They were looking at draft picks at that point, 6 weeks into the season, 5 weeks into the season. This is not the case anymore. You are back in Patriots mania, and you are back into don't schedule anything between the hours of 1 and 4 o'clock on a Sunday in the fall in New England. That used to be a thing. It's not anymore. Hopefully getting back, but that was not a thing when I was growing up. You didn't do that. You know, weddings were not on Sundays. Apple picking was saved for the bye week or Sunday night football. You did not do it when you didn't do anything. You didn't dare schedule anything when the Patriots were playing. And that seems to be the appointment ticket once again. And it's because of Drake Maye. It's because of Mike Vrabel. Those guys have put together a fun football team to watch, and Drake Maye is putting up, again, an MVP-style season. This is a lot to get excited for. You know, a lot of people are going to tell you, oh, yeah, but who cares? Look at these teams they're beating. Spencer Rattler, you know, Dylan Gabriel this week. You had Cam Ward last week. You got Michael Penix next week. Like, who are they beating? That's what people will tell you. And I want you to heed this advice. It is okay, very okay. In fact, encouraged to be excited about this. Okay? There's a lot of teams in the league that wish they had what the Patriots have right now, including like the Bears. Caleb Williams isn't a bad quarterback, but they're sitting here and looking like, damn, we picked Caleb number 1. The number 2 pick went to the NFC Championship game last year. The number 3 pick is in the MVP conversation this year. The number 12 pick, I think it was, Bo Nix, already led his team to the playoffs. So like a team that picked ahead of you in that draft would kill for what you have right now. You know, like there's plenty of teams, including the ones you're playing week after week at this point, who wish they had the hope that the Patriots have right now. They have got a young rookie quarterback just finished his first year, for 17 games anyway, but a young second-year quarterback who has taken that leap, who I think a lot of us were skeptical whether he was going to take that leap, whether he had the people around him to take that leap. So they've got him on a cheap contract, and they've still got more money to spend than anybody in the NFL. They've got their franchise quarterback. It looks like they might have their franchise left tackle. They've got a franchise corner on defense. They have got some tremendous building blocks for a team that has completely lost 2 of their last 4 drafts outside of one player each. One player each. Marcus Jones in 22, Drake Maye in 24. So be excited about this. I don't give a shit who they're playing. Be excited about this Patriots team. There's so much to be excited about, and it's been a while since we've been really, truly excited about this team and this franchise. Unfortunately, for this year, the opposite is true for the Boston Celtics. I think we all understand what this is for the Celtics, right? It's a one-year thing, hopefully. And we know that it could be bad enough with another injury that they are picking in the lottery, top 5 potentially of the draft. We know that it could be that bad. While Jason Tatum watches from the sideline and apparently is going to come back at some point this year. But what's funny to me is, first off, the rivalries that are coming back. That's what's funny to me. Because first, we talked the other day about this Philadelphia thing and how they have not been a rival the last few years. And last year they really fell to the bottom, to the point where they were picking number 3 overall. And they get a kid who the Celtics cannot cover. VJ Edgecombe, Baylor Bear, 34 points, most in a debut in 65 years. Like Wilt was the last one to score that many points in his debut. Like unbelievable stuff. But because the Celtics don't have Tatum this year, they could be battling with Philadelphia. Like that could end up being appointment TV again. And it certainly was on opening night. What a game that was, And so that could be 2 teams battling for the same playoff spots and that actually don't like each other. So that could be a ton of fun. What rivalry is going to last beyond this year, I think, unlike Philadelphia, is the New York Knicks. This Celtics-Knicks rivalry is kind of back. It hasn't been here since the 70s, really. I mean, like since the early 70s when the Knicks were actually kicking the Celtics' butt a couple of times, beat the best Celtics team ever in 73, best regular season team ever. But this thing is back, as evidenced by the chess match going on between the Celtics and the Knicks right now. The espionage, the will they, won't they, of the Celtics-Knicks first matchup of the season in game number 2 on the NBA schedule. Like, crazy that this is happening already, but I'm telling you, it's happening already. The Knicks beat the Cavs on Wednesday night, and Mitch Robinson did not play because of load management. Load management. Game 1. If he's recovering from an injury, say he's recovering from an injury, but they're talking about load management so that he can play game 2 against the Celtics after he had a pretty good series against them in the second round. Like, are we serious? Chess match, week 1 of the season? Oh, because it doesn't stop there. Joe Mazzulla takes the chess match to another level. He's not just resting a guy. He is committing some espionage here. Joe Mazzulla brings in Tom Thibodeau, who was the Knicks coach last year, and just brings him to Celtics practice this week. Didn't do it in the summer. Didn't do it the early days of training camp. This week, he brings Tom Thibodeau in. And the initial rumor that came out when he was there was that Thibodeau was telling Mazzulla how he scouted the Celtics. And look, there's nothing wrong with that. That's a good move by Joe Mazzulla. Like, it seems weird, but it is a good move. Like, this is a dude who just led a team to an upset over yours a couple of months ago. And he's going to come in and tell you, yeah, here's how we scouted you. Here's how we beat you. I'll take that help. Take that help any day of the week. And of course, Missoula's trying to play it off. Tom's a friend. Won a championship here. He did. As an assistant with the 08 Celtics, he did win a title. And he's like, yeah, it's more just bringing him in and doing the whole Celtics legacy thing. The Knicks are saying we're not worried. We're not worried about that. But this is kind of fascinating to me that week 1 of the season, this is what you're pulling off, is you're bringing in Tom Thibodeau to give you the scout. I mean, really, what should get Celtics fans frustrated is not that, but the fact that Tom Thibodeau isn't on the staff this year. I said it right after he got fired by the Knicks. I'm like, there should be a job for him in Boston. I mean, he's one of the best coaching minds in the NBA. Obviously, great assistant coach, and did have some success as a head coach. It waxed and waned. But definitely, I mean, last year took the Knicks to the conference finals and beat the Celtics. And for some reason, they thought that wasn't good enough. Fascinating to me. Tom Thibodeau should be Mazzulla's right-hand man, if we're being honest. I mean, yeah, Joe, you remember he did win a championship here as an assistant coach, as Doc Rivers' right-hand man. It is, and especially because he's such a defensive guy too. Like, Mazzulla ball is about the offense. Tom Thibodeau should be there as like your defensive coordinator, man. Like, that's when you played defense in 22 and 24, you made the finals and won the title the second time. When you didn't play defense in 23, you were out in the conference finals. When your defense wasn't quite up to snub and you had a player get hurt last year, you didn't even make the conference finals. So Tom Thibodeau, I'm glad he's at practice. I'm glad he's given some help for the Knicks, or about the Knicks, for the Knicks game. But he should be your assistant coach. He should be giving you a scout for every game. He should be on the bench for every game. And I'm just stunned at that. I'm stunned that, because Joe Mazzulla is not like that big an ego trip guy that he's, not going to bring in a coach of that caliber to be on his bench. He had to bring in all older guys every time he's had an assistant coach because he's so young. So I don't think he's above that. Tom Thibodeau should be an assistant coach on this team. But what I love is this little back and forth the Celtics and the Knicks have going. This Boston-New York thing could well be back again because the Red Sox and the Yankees are going to be up against each other quite a bit over the next couple of years. After this year, the Celtics will be back in terms of like top of the East, and the Knicks will probably still be hanging around near the top. That's awesome. And the Bruins and the Rangers both stink. Both really stink. So that could be interesting in its own little way. And the Patriots and the Jets are always the Patriots and the Jets. So this thing might be back on. Speaking of the Patriots, they've got a bit of a sneaky one this week. The Browns aren't very good, but there's one thing they are very, very good at that could stub the Patriots' toe and could actually make this interesting on Sunday. Nick Pedone is going to break this down. He writes for Sports Illustrated, does the Big City Network out there in Cleveland, Big Game Network, out there in Cleveland, covers the Browns top to bottom. You're going to love this interview. We've got Nick Pedone breaking down this game. And then after that, we've got our 3 keys to Patriots victory. It's coming up next on The Wicked Boston Show.
Your season, your shot. The NFL season is rolling, and every touchdown can bring you closer to a payout with DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NFL. From first touchdown scorer to anytime TD props, or the thrill of live in-game betting, every snap is loaded with opportunity. New customers, this one is for you. Bet just $5 and get $200 in bonus bets instantly. Plus, score over $200 off NFL Sunday Ticket from YouTube and YouTube TV. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app and use code CAMSHOW. That's code CAMSHOW to get $200 in bonus bets instantly when you place your first $5 bet. Plus, over $200 off NFL Sunday Ticket from YouTube and YouTube TV. In partnership with DraftKings, the crown is yours. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. In New York, call 8778-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369. In Connecticut, help is available for problem gambling. Call 888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org. Please play responsibly. On behalf of Boot Hill Casino and Resort, Kansas. 21 plus age and eligibility varies by jurisdiction. Fees may apply in Illinois. Void in Ontario. Bonus bets expire 7 days after issuance. See sportsbook.draftkings.com/promos. NFL Sunday Ticket offer for new subscribers only and auto renews until canceled. Digital games and commercial use excluded. Restrictions apply. Additional NFL Sunday Ticket terms at youtube.com/go/NFL Sunday Ticket/terms. Limited time offer.
Circulon C1 Series Clad with Scratch Defense Non-Stick. Maximize cooking, minimize cleaning. Discover the unmatched durability and elegance scratch-free, worry-free, forever.
At Covers & All, we've revolutionized protective solutions with cutting-edge, customizable covers, tarps, and curtains. We deliver premier protection at affordable prices and express shipping. Visit coversandall.com today for the perfect fit, guaranteed to last.
Send money abroad in just a few steps with Remitly. Sign up with your email, enter an amount, choose how your loved ones receive the money, enter your recipient's information, select a payment method, hit send, and relax. Download the Remitly app today.
Experience the future of secure private cloud storage with Internix. Protect your files with end-to-end encryption, ensuring your data stays private and accessible only to you. That's INTERNXT.com today.
Welcome to Market XLS, your all-in-one Excel solution for investors. Designed as an enterprise-grade platform, Market XLS caters to investment managers, secure and efficient investment management and research. Book your free demo.
What if you could clean clean? With bio-based formulas and deep cleaning enzymes. No dyes, phthalates, or mystery ingredients. Just powerful pods for your dishes and laundry. Now you can, with drops made clean, made to clean.
Back here on the Wicked Boston Show on the Rogue Media Sports Network, Cam Stewart with Nick Pedone here from Sports Illustrated and the Big Play Sports Network, which has you covered everything Cleveland sports. Today, of course, we are talking about the Brownies as they take on the Patriots this week. Pats winners of 4 in a row for the first time in 4 years and hoping to keep this going for the second week in a row against one of Mike Vrabel's former teams. But Nick, as we sit here, coming off a big win, huge blowout win over the Dolphins. Now the Browns sitting at 2-5, but with a strong defense and that big win over Miami this weekend, what is the vibes around Cleveland about this team?
Yeah, I appreciate you having me on. The vibes are definitely a little bit higher than they were. It's good to win. It's nice to get a win when they needed that win. Like, there was so much noise going into that Miami Dolphins game about Kevin Stefanski's job security, Andrew Berry. Like, everybody was under a magnifying glass because of how bad the Browns had looked to that point. Offensively, they still are pretty bad. Like, they were able to score 31 points in that game. That was a big thanks to their defense. Big thanks to special teams that was able to get them the football in favorable positions through that entire game. Like, that game really more so showed how bad the Dolphins are versus what the Browns can be, because the Browns didn't do anything offensively in that game. So people are feeling good to get a win, needed one bad, but at the end of the day, everybody kind of understands that it's a team that certainly has some work to do just because of how bad this offense has been.
And let's touch on that a little bit, because it's the third straight week where the Patriots play a very young quarterback. They go from Spencer Rattler to Cam Ward to Dylan Gabriel, like literally just taking down the experience week by week. So what have you seen? This is going to be the fourth start of the Dylan Gabriel era. What have you seen from him? And was he ready to really take on the starting job?
Yeah, I think he was ready. I haven't seen anything to answer the first part of the question. I think he was ready. You hear him constantly get propped up because he's a guy that has a lot of college football starting experience. He's not your average rookie quarterback. He started 60 games with so many different college teams during his long college football career, that he has a good understanding of football. He has a good understanding of Kevin Stefanski's offense already, and he understands how to read a defense. So that gave him a leg up in the Browns' eyes in terms of this entire quarterback situation that they've assembled here in Cleveland. That's how Dylan Gabriel was able to get on the field so quickly. However, when you look at like what he can do physically, he's tremendously limited. And that's been on full display throughout these first 3 games. Like, the Browns are not a threat offensively currently to do anything downfield. Like, the downfield passing game has just ceased to exist since the season began the first week of September. They haven't done anything. And for Dylan Gabriel, like, anything beyond 10 yards looks like a Brett Favre caliber heave. Like, he's not very accurate. It doesn't happen very often. When it does, the football does not usually find the receiver. So he looks right now to be a really good, capable backup quarterback. He's able to complete the dump offs, try to move the sticks that way. The issue has become that his limitations have made Stefanski's offense like beyond predictable. And the good news for the Browns is Quinshon Judkins has been awesome. If it wasn't for him, I don't know what this team would be. He's the only reason why they're able to do anything offensively, because the drop back passing game has been an adventure, and that's putting it nicely, regardless of who the quarterback has been.
So, okay. So then we're answering the next question in that Dillon Gabriel they're not trying to see him as the future of this franchise. It's more like a Spencer Rattler situation than a Michael Penix one.
I mean, maybe like that's how they should be viewing it, right?
Okay.
Is that like, this is a guy that they like, this is a guy that they think is really smart, he could be around the organization for a long time. Like, that's how this thing should be being viewed. But I'm not sure. Like, they really like him. They really continue to inflate air into his tires. They've yet to put any more on his plate. So it makes me wonder, like, their actions are not matching their words. Because if this was a guy that they really, really liked, to me, okay, then you could ask him to do a little bit more in the games, but that has not happened. So I definitely think it should be treated more like a Rattler situation, where they're seeing if he could be a long-term backup that they invested a top 100 draft pick in to be around the organization for a really long time. And if he could pop something more than that, then great. But through three starts, there hasn't even been a flash that's like, wow, that's like franchise quarterback, starting quarterback worthy. Like, he hasn't really had the opportunity to do it, but it just, nothing about these last three starts has said franchise quarterback at all. Like, they scored 3 touchdowns against the Dolphins. He was only on the field for one of them. They had to set football back to multiple decades because they broke out the Wildcat with Quinshon Judkins. Like, extremely limited quarterback.
I'm not going to lie. It does feel like the way I've kind of felt about the Patriots the last couple of years in terms of that archaic offense, setting it back a little bit. It makes me feel a little bit more grateful right now. But Nick, I do think I'm contractually obligated to do this because we've talked about the Browns quarterback situation for more than a minute now. I got an alert to my phone that says I have to ask, is there any Shedeur Sanders in the future?
Yeah, for sure. At some point in the future, like, they're going to see Shedeur Sanders, and like, that will either come because Dillon Gabriel is 5'8", and is going to get crunched by an actual NFL defense, or it will become because Dillon Gabriel is not a threat to do anything with his arm, and the fans are quite literally going to stop showing up to the stadium because the offensive product is so bad. Like, all kidding aside, NFL Network's Ian Rappaport said when they made the Flacco trade a couple of weeks ago, and all the coverage that went into that, Rappaport said, like, the expectation is still for the Browns to see Shedeur Sanders at some point. Now, there hasn't been any clarification of when that will be. After this Patriots game, the Browns do have like a long-awaited bye week. They went to London, came back, didn't get it, faced the Steelers, faced the Bengals, faced the Ravens. So, like, they've had a very difficult schedule to this point, and they still haven't gotten that bye week. The reporting from Rappaport also said that the Browns would prefer to give Sanders an entire week worth of preparation prior to his first regular season start. I think that makes a lot of sense. He's a very different quarterback than Dillon Gabriel. I think you would hope that the offense opens up a little bit more for Shedeur because of his arm. You know, like, he has the physical skills that Gabriel does not. So you can try things that are different than what you're trying with Gabriel. So, yeah, my expectation is that we should see Shedeur Sanders at some point. And I would say, like, if Gabriel continues to underwhelm, it's not that he's even doing anything poorly. He hasn't turned the football over, which is a thing that he has going for him that Flacco couldn't figure out. But it's just been so boring that, like, if he stacks together a couple more performances like that and the team loses, then they're going to have no choice but to make the switch to Shedeur Sanders.
Yeah. And you just, you know that he's probably hit his ceiling, which feels like an embarrassingly low ceiling. We saw it with Jacoby Brissett last year, you know, of like, man, he's not putting the ball in harm's way, but he can't elevate this team at all. What's funny for those who haven't followed the Browns this year is it's the complete opposite on the other side of the football. This Browns defense is probably the best defense the Patriots have played this year. To this point, they are number 1 in the league in terms of yards allowed. So, like, I guess just how much confidence does that continue to give you, even though the Browns are 2-5, but week to week, knowing that this defense can shut down almost anybody?
Yeah, I mean, it gives them a shot in every game that they play, just because, like, they are so good. Like, the defense, it makes the offense that much more frustrating. And, like, I think that's the reason why Browns fans were just so ready to fire Kevin Stefanski 5 weeks into the season, because it's like the defense is Super Bowl ready. The offense looks like it's 0-17, have the number 1 overall pick ready. So it is like the complete opposite of complimentary football. The defense has been remarkable. Like Myles Garrett is the engine that makes the entire thing go. Denzel Ward's a really good, starting corner as well. But like, it's been a collective effort. Like the defensive line is phenomenal. Like opposing quarterbacks are constantly underdressed. They're constantly throwing off the spot. The linebacking core, which was a question because the Browns were without Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah for the entire season. Carson Schlesinger, who the Browns used the first pick in the second round, young linebacker out of UCLA, has seamlessly adopted the green dot, and he has become like a true leader on that defense less than 10 games into his NFL career. So the defense is absolutely packed with talent. They've got a lot of good depth on the defense as well. Like you guys will notice on Sunday, like Jim Schwartz is going to constantly be rotating the defensive line. Like there will be times where Myles Garrett is off the field for what feels like an entire series, but the Browns are still able to get pressure just because of how deep they are up front. Like defense is awesome. And it has been the only reason really to tune in on Sunday. And it has done a good job keeping them at least remotely close in most of the games that they've played.
And going off of that, like I said earlier, this is probably the best defense the Patriots have played all year, and maybe will be the best defense they play all year. And you've got a team that's coming in hot. The quarterback that's coming in hot, who's now put himself in the MVP discussion in Drake Maye. He's still a young quarterback. It's still a young and offensive line. So does that defense then, in your mind, does that keep the Browns at least in this game this Sunday, which a lot of people aren't expecting?
No, it'll be a good test for sure, because you look at the last couple of quarterbacks they've played, and like I actually think higher of Tua Tagovailoa than a lot of people do, but like obviously this season, like they caught Tua at his absolute lowest, they caught him at his absolute worst, so they were able to roll over him. But then they've rolled over a couple, really bad QBs. Like even Carson Wentz was able to get the best of them in that London game. So Drake Maye should definitely be a big test. When just the quarterback comparison alone, like Drake Maye versus Dylan Gabriel, like rip that up. That is the biggest mismatch that you'll find in the NFL slate this week. Like Drake Maye has truly emerged as one of the premium young passers in this league. The young part, I know you emphasize that as well. Perhaps there's things that Schwartz can do defensively to scheme up Myles Garrett next to Mason Graham a little bit more, to sim pressure. They had a lot of success doing that against the Dolphins, and it's something that we haven't seen Jim Schwartz do much of during his time as the defensive coordinator. Was they dialed up a couple blitzes on Tua, and he had no idea what was going on. They sent Grant Delpit off the edge twice. They sent Denzel Ward on a corner blitz. I guess Myles Garrett had asked for that. Like, let's just ratchet this up a little bit more. And they definitely were able to do that against the Dolphins and had success doing it. So I wonder if they kind of try to go back to that, understanding that it's a young quarterback in Drake Maye. I would that wouldn't really be what I would do. I feel like Drake Maye is kind of one of those cerebral guys that could make you pay for that. So I wouldn't necessarily lean all the way into that, but it just shows that the Browns can get crafty with what they do defensively because they are so talented. They could, nobody was expecting them to blitz Tua going into that game. They did it at least 3 times. So like the fact of the matter is they could try something completely different against New England, and it shouldn't surprise anybody. Like they're that talented that they could have major shifts in their game plan from one week to the next.
And it's interesting that both Jim Schwartz and Josh McDaniels going up against each other, both Belichick guys, obviously, but with really no overlap, like none. They didn't work together. So be interesting, kind of that chess match there. And obviously, Nick, I know you cover the whole league, really. I mean, obviously, you know your stuff about this entire league. So I kind of been asking our guests this because I'm just going over the moon with this Patriots team. Do you think there's too much hype around this Patriots team going into this game?
Going
okay
into
if you
this
do.
going into this game, I would say no. I would say there's a proper amount of hype. And for the reasons that you've stated, like they are one of the premium young teams in this league, and this is a game that should be very winnable for them. Like the Browns are a bad team. Browns have a couple really good young players. This was their best draft class that they've had in a really long time. They needed it though, because the rest of the roster is old and expensive and not really that talented. So this is a game that the Patriots should definitely win. I think the hype going into this game is warranted. Now, the entire season at large, I'm not sure. Like, can they sustain this lead in the division over Buffalo? I don't know. Like, Josh Allen's really good, and he's battle tested, and he's proven for years and years that he's really good and that he's not going anywhere. It'll be a really fun story to monitor. Like, if the Patriots can keep this up, holy smokes, like, is that one of the great stories around football, is that Drake Maye is able to take over the throne from Josh Allen, even if it is for just 1 year. Like, I'm not sure how long we'll be talking about that, but for the Patriots, like, playoffs, like, sure, like, that's certainly on the docket because of how great they've been to start the season. Games early in the NFL season count the same as the ones late do.
That's true. That's true. It's not like college football in that sense, where sometimes they just conveniently forget about it. Last thing for me, Nick, is looking at Mike Vrabel, who has obviously been a huge story for the Patriots this year and a story across the NFL. I thought they should have hired him last year when they hired Gerard Mayo, and instead he worked as an advisor with the Cleveland Browns. And I know there's been Stefanski hot seat for years now. Seeing a team coming in at 5-2 like the Patriots under Mike Vrabel, is there some thoughts around Browns Nation of like, why didn't we just hire this guy instead?
For sure. And like, you can't get through a Browns loss without the local radio doing that, especially because, like, look at how these 2 seasons have gone. Like the Patriots, one of the stories of the league, like, darling young team. Look at Mike Vrabel revitalizing his career as a head coach. Like, so, we knew Mike Vrabel was a good head coach in Tennessee. I think the entire league knew that. Like, they just felt like it was time to go into a different direction, and look at how that direction ended up. They've already fired Brian Callahan there in Nashville. Whereas here in Cleveland, like, the Browns and Jimmy Haslam have long had this reputation around football that they're quick to hire and quick to fire. And I think Kevin and Andrew, because they work well together and because there's not inner fighting, like, I think it was easy for Haslam to just be like, you know what, even though the Deshaun Watson thing was a mess, even though we haven't had some of the success that we were expecting when we made this hire now 6 years ago, these 2 guys are at least working together towards something. That was the decision going into this. But at the end of the day, the NFL is a results-oriented business. So you definitely will hear fans in Cleveland, media in Cleveland, kind of comparing the Browns situation to the Patriots situation and wondering if things would look differently with Vrabel as the head coach. And I think, like, Vrabel and Stefanski are just 2 different guys. It's so unfair to even have that comparison, where Kevin's more of like the intellect. He's going to scheme everything. Guys are going to be open, and the Browns are going to have a really smart game plan and try to outguess their opponents. Whereas Vrabel is going to have guys ready to run through a brick wall for them every single game. And I think there are a big section of Browns fans that kind of wish we had that, like, leader of men. Let's try to change the culture here. We're sick of losing. Like Vrabel last year, it was an advising role. He was hands-on. I'll give him that. Like, you sometimes don't see advisors like on the practice field. I mean, he was on the practice field every day. The Browns were so bad at the end of last year that Vrabel had to just get his hands on the offensive line and kind of served as like an interim quasi offensive line coach for the Browns, just because the position group was so bad. So he definitely has a good understanding of the Browns, and there definitely are a lot of people, especially because he's a Buckeye. There's hometown roots with that as well. Like, there are a lot of people that will go into this game wishing Vrabel was their coach. And ultimately, if the Patriots get the best of the Browns, kind of like I'm expecting them to, there will be a lot of people that use that to say, see, that's why they should have just kept Mike Vrabel in the building. How'd you let him out of that building? But they did, and that's the decision that they made, and they've got to look forward, because I don't think Vrabel is going anywhere. I think you guys found a real winner out there in Boston.
I certainly hope so. certainly hope so. And of course, like you mentioned, Vrabel, Ohio through and through, just like Nick Pedone. of Browns on SI and the Big Play Sports Network. Nick, we got people who are looking for even more coverage of this Browns team leading up to the Patriots game. How can they find you?
Yeah, absolutely. You could check out all of our written content, Browns on SI. SI.com has been phenomenal to work with. And then all of our local shows here on the Big Play Sports Network, our Top Dogs show with Josh Cribbs, Hanford Dixon, Phil Taylor. We've got kind of a legendary dog roundtable that review and preview every single game, every single week. So check out the Big Play Sports Network. We're breaking down this matchup the same way that you guys are breaking down this matchup. And our basketball season's getting ready to get started too. So we, had some history with Cavs Celtics this year. The Cavs are hoping that the Celtics are out of the way and have a path towards the Eastern Conference Finals. So check out the Big Play Sports Network for all of our great, local Ohio coverage.
There definitely could be some Celtics Cavs talks between us on this show going forward. I hope so. Nick, really appreciate you taking the time today.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks for having me.
There he goes. Nick Pedone of the Browns on SI and the Big Play Sports Network. I was just trying to think of which one I was going to say first. Nick's covering them both and got him head to toe for the Browns and everything else going on in Cleveland. When we come back on the Wicked Boston Show, we will talk about the 3 keys to the game and how the Patriots can get this victory over Cleveland on Sunday. It is coming up next.
Hi, I'm Mitch, the co-founder of Cake, a sexual health and wellness company designed for today and designed for you. Yes, you. The entire product line can be found at hellocake.com, and it's also available in every Walmart near you.
Designed to elevate the off-road experience, enabling adventurers to conquer any terrain. For 50 years, you've trusted us on your toughest recoveries, to your most breathtaking destinations, and in countless unforgettable memories.
With San, owning iconic furniture no longer requires paying a premium. With over 15,000 satisfied customers worldwide, we've proven that high-quality furniture doesn't have to come with a high price tag. Explore our collection today at san.com.
So all you have to do is tap your Popple to the back of someone's phone, like that, and they instantly get your social media and contact info right on the screen. They don't need an app or a Popple to receive your info. So get your Popple today and start impressing everyone you meet. Make it pop.
Samsonite is the world leader in durable, high-quality luggage and travel accessories. Travel with Samsonite and pack confidence every step of the way. Shop now at shop.samsonite.com. Samsonite. We offer fast shipping, exceptional customer support, and furniture solutions that stand up to high traffic environment. Elevate your space with BizChair's vast selection of stylish, reliable, and cost-effective furniture. Visit us today at bizchair.com to transform your business. Cleanse your body of accumulated toxins and embark on your wellness journey at your own pace. At Global Healing, we provide premium supplements to help your body heal naturally. Start your healing journey today at globalhealing.com and organichemp.com.
Welcome back, Wicked Boston Show. Talking about the Patriots here on this Friday, getting ready for the Cleveland Browns on Sunday. Special thanks to Nick, man. I mean, I don't want to say we're lucky, but we do a great job of getting some great guests to preview the opposing team here. Those of us at Rogue Media Network been able to land that. So shout out to Nick. Appreciate him coming on. And look, the Browns stink. They do. But we're not blowing smoke when we were talking about that Browns defense. This defense is legit enough for sure to give Drake Maye some issues, even with how great he's been this year and how well he's taken care of the football on this winning streak. Don't think he's had a turnover in these last 4 games. I think that's coincided with 4 straight wins after the awful 5 turnover performance against the Steelers. So now how do they win it? Okay, because they should win it. Just like they did against Tennessee, just like they did against New Orleans, and they should have. Here's the 3 keys to victory for the Patriots against the Cleveland Browns on Sunday. First thing, keep Drake Maye clean. And I'm talking less than 2 sacks, 0 or 1, if we could. Keep Drake Maye clean. That's really the only thing that I think will really throw a wrench into this Patriots offense right now. They're really protecting the ball very well against a defense like this. I wouldn't be surprised if Drake Maye does have a turnover, or the Patriots do on a fumble, because Ramondre is still on the team. But keeping them at 2 sacks or less, this Cleveland team, would be a huge, huge step in the right direction for this Patriots offense in terms of not only scoring points, but keeping the ball. That is what has been a drive killer at times this year. The Patriots have allowed 22 sacks in 7 games so far. So we want to keep them well under their average of 3, over 3. And the Browns weirdly only have 18 sacks, 2.5 a game, which is not bad, but for as good as this defense is, number 1 in the league in yards allowed, the good kind, they are a pretty dominant defense. And if we're being honest, it's the best defense Drake Maye's seen all season. Buffalo would be up there. Pittsburgh's is good. We call them great, but good. And the Patriots move the ball at will against that team. Weirdly enough, Drake's worst game came against Vegas, who stinks. Just stinks. Like, I can't believe they lost that game. I can't believe they lost the Pittsburgh game for different reasons. But this Browns team, again, 2-5. You can take them lightly, but take that defense lightly at your own risk. That is one that can certainly cause some problems for the Patriots. And you can have a game where your defense plays well, your offense moves the ball, but you still lose. That's what we saw against Pittsburgh. So 2-5 or not for the Browns, I don't think the Patriots are above having one of those games again. It definitely could happen. Key number two to the Patriots winning against the Cleveland Browns is you got to keep Quinshon Judkins in check. And by in check, I mean under 65 yards rushing. Because I think the Patriots need a quick start to this game. And if that's the case, you take Cleveland out of their run game pretty early in the ball game. And if you contain Quinshon Judkins, you just leave the rest of that Browns team vulnerable. It's a heck of a player, man. 3 touchdowns on the ground last week against Miami, had a 110-yard rushing performance a few weeks ago. There's only been one team this year that's kept him under 60 yards, and that was the aforementioned Pittsburgh Steelers. They held him under 40, and they won that game comfortably. Quinshon Judkins, as Nick was talking about in the last segment, is really the only one on that Browns offense that can hurt you. Really the only one that can hurt you. Dylan Gabriel has such a long way to go. And, it's becoming a theme for the Patriots to play these young, green, not very good quarterbacks 3 weeks in a row, right? Spencer Rattler and Cam Ward, the number 1 pick in the draft. And now Dylan Gabriel. If you put the game in Dylan Gabriel's hands, you're going to learn what most of the other teams learned that have played the Browns this year. You should have a comfortable victory. But once again, man, it's worth noting that the Browns beat the Dolphins 31-6 on Sunday. That Dolphins team is horrid. I can't believe Mike McDaniel is still in a job. 31-6. To the Browns. That defense made Tua look like the worst quarterback in football. And I know there's been some games where he's not that far off from it, but he actually played pretty well against the Patriots. So that does give me a bit of a concern. But that number 2 key is keeping Quinshon Judkins under 65 yards rushing. And that's not that tall an order for this Patriots defense, by the way. This is what we've been talking about as a top 5 run defense in the league at any point this year. They don't allow more than 85 yards on the ground. So this is not a huge ask. It's the best back they have faced since Devon Achane, I guess, or James Cook too, where they really kept in check. I think they kept him under 50 yards. I should know that, but that would be a fantastic performance if you're able to do that to Quinshon Judkins as well. Make Dylan Gabriel beat you. And if he can do that, well, then heads need to roll. But tip your cap to him first. Number 3 key to victory for the Patriots. It's one that is mostly a wish as a fan, but I also think could be really effective for them in this game. Get Travion Henderson involved in the pass game. Can I get 5 receptions from Travion Henderson in this game? I know it goes against what Mike Vrabel wants to do. He's one of those who doesn't like playing the young guys, really wants to stick with the veterans and kind of the sure things. TreVeyon Henderson can be a menace in this game. For as good as the Browns defense is, there's nothing in the game plan against TreVeyon Henderson. He is a weapon that the Patriots just have not utilized yet. And certainly the skill is there. We saw it in the preseason. Oh, it's the preseason. I know it's the preseason, but he showed you that he could be impressive on an NFL field against NFL players. Okay? Because you know who didn't have a great preseason was Drake Maye. TreVeyon Henderson did. Drake Maye's an MVP candidate, and we haven't really seen anything from TreVeyon Henderson. It's going to be interesting to see how the Patriots balance the offense this week, and that is why I'm calling on Henderson here. They are not going to be able to run the ball like they did against Tennessee. Like, Cleveland is a completely different animal when it comes to that, and you've still got a running back with some real fumble problems in Ramondre Stevenson. So, with a Josh McDaniels offense, feels like we've seen this before. In a Josh McDaniels offense, there were years where the Patriots did not have good running games. And what they did was they utilized the screen passes and the hitch passes to the running backs out of the backfield in order to simulate a run game and make you respect the short pass so that you can go after the long pass. Rather than setting up the run for the pass, it's using the short pass to set up the long pass. And certainly we know Drake Maye is lethal in play action and trying to push the ball down the field. So TreVeyon Henderson, even if it's just to set something up, could be a humongous part of this game plan for the Patriots, which we just haven't seen him be a part of yet. So for me, if he gets involved and gives you 5 catches out of the backfield, you can be pretty confident in a Patriots victory over the Browns this week. The other thing they should do is put on their uniforms, show up on the field, and not F it up completely. If they play the way they know how to play, and they've played in the last 4 games, this should be another easy victory for the Patriots. It should. And then it'll be the Falcons, and then we'll worry about the Bucs when it's the Bucs. And that will be a big time matchup with, of course, Baker Mayfield being a legit MVP candidate himself. But the Browns, this should be an easy one. I'm sorry. This should be an easy one. What are your keys to the game for the Patriots to get the win over Cleveland? Let me know in the comment section below. Then be sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel. It's completely free, gives you Boston sports news every day, live on YouTube at noon Eastern time, and then wherever you get your podcasts as well. And it helps me keep my job. I'm Cam Stewart, the host of this great show on this great network. Zach Burke is behind the glass, keeping us on the air 5 days a week, but you guys are the lifebeat of this. Thank you for tuning in once again, and we will see you as we break this whole thing down on Monday with Mike Debate after the Patriots beat the Browns. We will see you then on another edition of the Wicked Boston Show.
Relax with Hemp Delicious. Organically grown hemp, massively blended with delicious organic herbs, responsibly sourced for their holistic benefits. Each sip offers calming, antioxidant-rich wellness. Brewed just for you. Sip the calm with Hemp Delicious.
At Open Goal USA, we're revolutionizing training for both soccer and lacrosse with our innovative portable rebounders. Perfect for players of all ages and skill levels. Visit OpenGOAAALUSA.com and elevate your training today.
Farmhounds offers natural treats and chews made with quality products that support family farm, regenerative agriculture, and humane farming practices. Give your dog the best with wholesome, organic ingredients that promote health and happiness. Shop now at farmhounds.com.
Get paid faster with Bill, the easiest way to send, receive, and manage your payments. No more delays, no more hassle. Whether you're a freelancer or a business, Bill makes payments seamless and secure, simple, fast, and reliable. Sign up today at Bill.com. We are Rogue Media Sports.